Hey Team MG, it's your boy Michael Gascon, the Horse Guru, and I'm here with you today with a special little guy. This is Bree. He is a Haflinger pony cross that we are getting started under saddle to get ready for a therapeutic riding program in Jackson, Mississippi. And he's just now getting under saddle. He's a little bit too small for me to be riding, so I'm putting some training on him. And today I'm going to show you guys how to long line. And this is great. For me, I'm doing it because he's a bit too small to be carrying me, and I'll get him trained up and then let my smaller students start giving him some rides to get him prepared for the therapy program. But also, if you have a horse at home that you're working in, you're trying to work through some problems and you don't feel confident in the saddle, long lining is a great way to get the feel for the mouth, to get that horse giving you contact without fussing and fighting with the bit. And again, never putting yourself in jeopardy, never putting yourself in the saddle, and still being able to work the horse. For a trainer like myself, most of the time I'm gonna get my groundwork in and do most of this work in the saddle, but this is a great tool to have in your toolbox, especially for you guys out there who are a little unconfident on your horse and you feel like they're a little bit too herky-jerky, a little fussy in the face. This is a great way to work with them. So you see here I have a full cheek snaffle on him. I have the small saddle I could find in the barn to fit him. Now, one thing you're gonna need is your trusty string. Baler twine, hay string, anything you want. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab this outside stirrup and I'm gonna tie it to the opposite stirrup. And I'm not about to use it right now, but whenever I put both drive lines on, it's gonna help me. All right, make sure that is secure. Perfect. Now we're gonna do a little prep for long lining. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do a couple spirals where we wrap this line around their butt and let them get used to the line around their butt. Very similar to what you see us do in colt starting whenever we spin them, but we're getting them ready for long lining. And I learned this from my driving mentor, David Davis. Coming straight out of Indiana, and he showed me this maneuver right here. And basically, we're just getting him used to having that line touch his butt and drive him around. You notice my long line here is 25 foot long. It really helps me not have to run so much. And sometimes here we can, if the horse is uncomfortable with it, we could drive them forward a little bit, having them feel that long line on their butt so they don't freak out. And whenever they're ready, we can turn them around just like that. Pull them off. Whenever they do it fine to one side, we're going to do it to the other side. Just like that right there. Switch up and go to the other side. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to hold it here by his face. So if whenever we touch his butt, he blasts off, we have him by the face. Just like that. We'll spin him into us first to start. And whenever we feel like he's good with the pressure on his butt here, we'll spin him away. And we just see right here that our horse isn't really reacting, isn't giving us trouble with this. We'll pet him, let him know he's doing a good job. Now we're getting set. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna get our second drive line. Now the reason I tied these stirrups together is so that I can use them to put my drive lines through. So I'm gonna attach it here to the snaffle. And again, very soft snaffle, and I love a full cheek so it won't pull through their mouth. It's a great place to get a horse ready. You don't want them to have any bad experiences with their first time with a bit in their mouth. I'll do the same thing here. And I think he's going to be an awesome little guy. There we go. Pet him all over. Now I'm going to grab my lines and I'm going to put one on the opposite side of his butt, just like that. Now I always, just like colt starting and everything else, make sure there's no knots in my lines. The first thing I like to do is turn. There we go. That's it. And we'll just put him on the rail here. And what I love about this is look at how he's already bearing his head. So here we can put a little contact on him and he can feel our reins. And the awesome thing about this, in colt starting, I never want to use 2 reins. I never want to put pressure or give them any contact on that bridle. I only want to guide them with one hand or the other. But in long lining, now that I'm behind the horse and I can really pressure that horse to go forward because I'm behind them, I can put a little contact on them and have them drive into it. So you see that horse moving off real comfortable there. Notice I'm not going to reprimand him for slowing down on his own. Last going to move off again. There we go. Have his walk with his head down. There we go. Get that trot right there. Now before we canter, we want his head to be down. There we go for the trot. There we go. Add a little pressure. That's it. Nice. Again, so he surged on us, cantered. Whenever he broke down to a trot, we didn't give him repercussion for it. There we go. Very nice. Let him take a little breather there. So from here, we're just going to turn him back into the wall. When he tries to come towards us, that outside rein is going to keep him straight. So you can see how we can paint a beautiful picture of the release. The only place he gets a release is going forward. And if he tries to turn and face us, depending which direction he's going, we're going to pull on the outside rein. If he tries to turn back towards the wall, when we don't want him to, we're going to pull on the inside rein. Since we have the reins low, and behind his butt, he can't make a turn on us. So right there, he looks in towards the wall. I can stop that by pulling this inside rein here and send him forward again. If he doesn't hear my cue, I can give him a little pop on the butt with the outside rein. So you see this is his bad side here. But every time he gets himself in a bind, we're able to just straighten him out and keep him going forward. The awesome thing about this is it makes the person working with the horse so much more confident, since they're not the one in the saddle and they're not going to feel the repercussion or lose their seating or fall off. It's a lot easier for them to make the right choice. Whenever they're riding the horse, if that horse makes a quick turn back or throws a little crow hop in there or throws a little buck, a lot of times they'll release the pressure of whatever they're asking the horse to do, which will create a bad habit. Whenever you're long lining, you're so far away from what's going on that you're not affected, and it keeps you very clear-minded. So you see him here just taking a little relaxed walk. We're gonna take that because this is his bad side, seems like. We're just gonna let him relax and walk. He stops on us. We'll add some pressure by clicking to him. There we go. We'll ask him to trot now that he's relaxed. So you see you can use that rein and just give him a little pressure on his butt. Canter. There we go. So you see I can pull on this inside rein and get him a little bent to the inside because my stirrup is fastened underneath him, and that allows me to pull his head a little bit in my direction, which I like a lot. All right, so now we're gonna do an inside turn. Get him inside of this pole here. That's it. Very nice. So you see by the time that we have him going around here and stopping, walk, trot, canter, taking your hands, and you're able to turn him, whenever I put one of my students on, that's jockey size, they're gonna have a real easy time guiding her around riding her, and he's gonna be able to walk, trot, canter, turn, stop, everything we asked for. We'll trot him off and then ask for a stop. Oh. Oh. There we go. So notice how that was his first stop there, how I just kind of soaked into it right there. I didn't jam up on him. I didn't want to get him scared or worried about it. I kind of slowed him down to nothing. And he threw his head and he's fussy about it. Perfect. We'll try that again. We're gonna walk him off. We're gonna give him a stop and watch how gradual my stop is. Oh, better there. So what we don't want to do is we don't want to intimidate him in the mouth. We don't want to intimidate him to go forward, because then he's going to have a hard time going forward and we're really going to have to pressure, which will cause us other problems. You'll see whenever I'm colt starting, as you've seen on the other videos, whenever we colt start, we never stop a horse until they're confident going forward, until we can just click or touch them with a leg and they happily trot off, happily canter off. Then we start giving a horse a stop. Because if we intimidate a young horse in the front to go forward and they don't want to go forward and now we're kicking them, well, if your brakes are on and your gas is on, kind of bows up the middle and now you have a bucking problem. Now you have a panicked horse. With long lining, you're able to stop a little bit sooner because you're so obvious. You're so far behind the drive line and driving that horse forward. But still, you don't want to be very abrupt about it in this stage. You don't want to be hard on them and get them intimidated to go forward. So I'm going to change directions and we're going to give him another stop. Notice when I want to turn him left, I'll walk to my right. If I want to turn him right, I'm walking to my left. And I'm turning his head, I'm disengaging his hindquarters. If you can control the front and the back of the horse, you can ride any horse on this earth. If you have control of the front and you have control of the back, they don't have very much to say about where the middle goes. So we're going to let him walk off here. Notice I'll pick my hands up. I'm outside of kick zone. Oh. Notice I'll plant my feet here. There we go. That's awesome. So you see he ran into it and found that release, taking a step off of it. Very nice. Whenever you are going to do this, whenever I'm approaching, I am gonna take up the reins. Whenever I do this, if I would have let a big belly out of the reins, oh. If he would have had 2 foot of slack there, whenever he tried to surge off, he could have took 2 or 3 steps and had a lot of momentum going and then pulled on me real hard. One of the rules of driving is you never want to have a belly in those reins. Okay, long lining is a bit different than driving, but still, whenever you approach, you want to make sure you're gathering up those reins. Good boy. But you can imagine, getting this horse prepped for the saddle, what better way? We're using the bit that we plan on using, just a colt starting full cheek snaffle, very soft in the mouth. We're getting left and right, we're getting turning, we're disengaging the hindquarters, we're getting him bent around our circles, we're teaching him compulsion of going forward by us being behind him, and we're also teaching him how to stop. So by the time that I get done long lining him and ground driving him, he's gonna be so ready that anybody's gonna be able to ride him. All right, so we'll turn him and move him off again. Not to mention, if your horse long lines well, do you know how easy it'll be to put on a cart? And if you guys are watching this and like this, let me know. Send us an email that you want to see it and we'll come up with a whole carriage and cart riding video for you guys. There we go. I'm loving to see that. Loving to see him bury his head. Be calm about it. All right, let's pick him up through the gates again. Trot. There we go. Good boy. Cancer. I'm loving that departure. Very nice. And he canters off, and just like in colt starting, whenever he breaks down, I'm gonna let him break down from the trot. There we go. Awesome. Drop his head there. let him get a little breather. You see how he's relaxing to it? And we basically just stop driving him and he comes right back down to us. We want the horses to be quick to move off. If we click or we ask, I want you to move now. But on the other side of that, whenever they do move and give you what you want, you don't want to just keep clicking and keep after them when they're already doing what you want. You have to be quick to click for the trot as soon as he trots. Stop clicking, stop moving your hands. All right, I'm gonna walk to my right, which is gonna turn him to his left. Look how I take my left rein around his butt, his back legs. I keep turning, I keep turning. Very nice. Notice these 25-foot lines, they really keep me pretty stationary. It's the middle of July in South Mississippi and I'm not even sweating hard. So again, this is his bad side. Notice how I keep my outside hand up so it doesn't go under his hocks. If it does, it's not the end of the world. There we go. One more time through the gates. Trot. There we go. My inside rein is usually going to be shorter than my outside rein. He's trotting nice. Let's ask for that canter. Nice departure. As soon as I asked for it, he was right there. He broke down on his own, but I'm not going to give him a repercussion for it. I'm going to ask for it one more time. There we go. You lose a line. Well, so look at that, guys. I lost the line on him, but since we've been practicing, as soon as I stopped driving, stopped going somewhere, he stopped as soon as I let go. So there's something to be said about that. On these young colts, don't give them those repercussions whenever they break down. Give them a chance to reset and send them off again. And look how the rein slipped out of my hand. And I simply said, okay. The second I stopped driving him forward, he stopped for us, which is gonna be great for our rider whenever they start putting the miles on and going down the trail and doing things like that. Let me turn him around and face him up to you guys. Oh. Oh. Good. You see how low his head is? That's what we're looking for. Very nice. That's it. Well, thank you so much for watching our long lining video. Shout out to my mentor who showed me this, David Davis. He's the man. I really appreciate you guys. Try this at home. Even if you have a finished horse, even if your horse is already good, it's a great exercise for you to try with your horse and get a feel for them. It also really furthers you and gets you a lot more prepared if you ever plan on driving. If you ever plan on pulling a cart or a carriage or a wagon, it really teaches the horse how to move with you driving from behind them, which is a different feel than in the saddle. Thank you so much for watching. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching our video. Make sure to get in the comments below and give us your feedback. Let us know what all problems you're having, if you're having any problems with the steps, if there's more videos or problems that you would like to see. We just want to better help you bond with your horse and help fix some of your equine problems and reach your equine goals.